Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. I thought I would just sit down and do some work and spend a little time with all of you. Today I am filling up Mylar bags with sugar, and I do need to say a big thank you to somebody who donated a little funds and said that I should use it for something that I could really use. Well, I did all of my inventory. So in the month of December, I always do my whole inventory of my food for the year, and I did not have that much sugar left. As you know, I make a lot of jams and jellies and lots of beverages to can. I do grape juice. And so sugar is one thing that I run out by the end of the year. I'm really impressed with these Mylar bags. This came as a whole kit for me, and I did do a review on my channel, but I'm just so really impressed with it because they come with their own scoops. Now, I'm not doing a review here. I'm just showing you because I'm working on it. But they come with their own scoops, everything. It's a whole assortment of bags and oxygen absorbers and labels. I am really impressed with it. So if you want to see more in detail, you have to go to my other channel for that. But today I'm going to be working on the sugar. So today I'm going to work on the sugar. There's two people that gave me $20, and I really want to thank you guys. You two of you know who you are, and that's what I bought with it. I bought some sugar and I still have money left over. So thank you so much. It went really to a practical use. All right, well, I'm going to go fill these up and get this done, and that way I can put them away. I really want to talk to you guys a little bit about my 50% lower income. I do have a full video on all of the things that I'm doing now that maybe I wouldn't have done so much in the past. And I'm back to bare bones budgeting, which it's nothing new for me. When I started my channel, I was extremely bare bones budgeting, and I'm to that point again, especially in these months. I'm going to be sharing with you all kinds of videos on low income Christmas and a Christmas without expense. All right, I got to go and fill this for a minute, and then I'll talk to you just a little bit more. All right, I have it all finished now. I'm going to work on this while I talk to you. I hope you don't mind. But when your income is drastically reduced, the first thing you do is you panic. And no matter how many times it happens to me, the first thing I do is I do panic. I know the first night I couldn't sleep, and I thought, what happens if this happens? And what happens if that happens? And how am I gonna pay my taxes? And how am I gonna pay all of these things? And here in the county that we live in, we actually have to pay an occupational tax. And that means every year I gotta pay, it's quite a bit of money. It's over a couple hundred. It's a lot of money. Just simply because I live in this county. I know, most counties aren't like that. And so I think to myself, well, how am I gonna pay this? And how am I gonna pay that? But you know, in life, we are not to have fear. And so I go back to thinking, okay, this is my bare bones budgeting. What does my bare bones budgeting mean? Well, that means that if I go to the grocery store, I'm a foodie, I know. I have lots of food in my pantry, but I always like having different food. I love looking at all the different food and think of all different kinds of videos that I can make with this food. But you have to stop that, or don't have meat as often. I often think about Paul, and he wrote, you know, I know what it's like to have need, and I know what it's like to have plenty, and through it all, I'm content. And that is something we really need to think about in the day and age that we're living in. There's so many things to be occupying our minds with worry. And we're not to worry about anything. Yeah, that's easier said than done. I know. I don't know what happened with my channel. I don't know exactly what took place, but I have hundreds, not just a handful. I had hundreds of people tell me that they were no longer getting any of my videos, and they wanted my videos. I had people that would comment me and say, hey, it's good to see you again. I haven't seen you for a couple months. You're not making any videos. And I'm thinking, yes, I post a video every single day. I don't know what happened, but it seemed like when I said about my money being, 50% less, somehow YouTube shared those videos, and all of these people that were watching my videos found it. You know, and I did the video and it was real vulnerable, and I was sharing with everyone, listen, God is in control of everything. And YouTube may do this or may do that, but ultimately God's in control of everything. But I want you to know that I do have a video out every single day. So if you stop seeing my videos and you want to see my videos, you have to try to find out why you're not seeing them. Most of the times is what YouTube says. Do you think YouTube tells the truth? I don't know, but YouTube says because I have a video out every single day, if somebody doesn't watch me in a regular type basis, in other words, if they don't watch 1 or 2 videos a week of mine, I will be thrown out of this system. So that's probably what happened, is people miss some of my videos and then after a while, they no longer seen them. If you're one of those people, thank you for coming back and thank you for remembering me. I know it's gonna happen again and again. And no, I'm not making any more videos. My income is what it is. And you know what? It's how it is for most everyone. I've been really watching a lot of documentaries of people who live in other countries. And it's really, really sad. Sad what people are going through, even in our own country. Yes, we were always known as the prosperous country. I don't know if we're quite so prosperous anymore. But yet, we do seem very rich compared to lots of other people. I know there's quite a few of you from the UK who watch me, and I know you're going through a lot worse times than what I could even imagine. But I think it's really important. One thing I learned was when money was a little more plentiful, I did stock up on some things, and I did use that money wisely. I didn't frivolously spend that money. We'd never went on a vacation. We didn't do anything that a lot of people would do. We still lived our same life, but we chose certain things to use that money for to help benefit our lives in a real way. And, you know, I do really believe that God has a calling for each and every person. Some people's calling is to be financially blessed in the way that you can really see it, while other people are called to be missionaries and to share their life in a more extreme frugal way. And that is my calling. It was as clear as day and night to me. Will that always be my calling? I don't know. But I know that it's God's will for me to be at a point in my life where I'm at today. And you know what? I count it all joy. I really, really do. You know, I realized once again, God taught me a valuable lesson is I was relying on people. I was relying on people on YouTube to watch my videos. It spoke to me in a really tangible way. And that was, I was relying on people once again to view my videos. In other words, for me to make a living. And I cannot rely on any people for anything. I have to rely on Christ. Yes, I rely on people as far as their friendships, but people will come and go. Even the biggest supporters and the people who love you the most, they can hurt you at times. But God doesn't. I guess you could say it was a lesson in humility. A lesson that I have to keep learning. We all have lessons in life that we need to learn. Some of us, it's different areas in our lives that we need to work on. For me, it was, once again, relying on the material world and people in that world. And when the people didn't watch, Satan liked to tell me what he always does. The weakness that I have is that people don't like me. But I realize that that is just Satan's way of trying to defeat me. And it simply is not going to work. I cannot base my popularity on people who watch me and people who don't. Because the Lord doesn't look at us who's popular and who's not. In fact, the Bible talks about the least of them will be the most. And what does the Bible and Jesus talk most of all? About humility, meekness, kindness, all of these things. Yeah, I'm still learning them. But I can guarantee you, you're all learning something yet. None of us are perfect, that's for sure. And I'm the most imperfect person of them all. Really, I am. Sure, our flesh wants these things to happen, you know. Sure, we want to be liked by everyone. We want everyone to say, look at you, look at you. And that's not going to be the case. None of us. There's always somebody prettier, always somebody thinner, always somebody more popular, always somebody who seems to have it all. There's always that person, a better in your eyes than yourself. But do you want to be the most popular, the prettiest, the thinnest? Do you really want that? And do you really want the struggles that come with that? I'd rather be known for a broken person who is being used by the Lord. Really, I would. I breathe my last breath. That could be tonight. That could be tomorrow. That could be when I'm 100 years old. I don't want God to say, you had the nicest home, you were the most popular, everybody loved you. I wanted God to say, you did your best. You did what you could do, and you shared me with the world, Tessie. The only person I need to work towards and to find that peace and to do my best and to try to be a faithful servant is to the Lord. I say you're supposed to look at the big picture. And that is true. You are supposed to look at the big picture in life, but sometimes we can get so focused on the big picture that we're missing what God's working right now in our hearts. And so it's good to have goals. It's good to have a drive to try to be the best that you can be. But I'm finding in my older age that it's not the drive so much anymore for me. It's not the destination. You know, it's the journey that we're in right now, whatever that journey is for you. We always want the destination to get there. We want to go there real quick. You know, we want to get there now. We don't want to go on the journey. We don't have to drive for hours and hours and hours. We want to get to the destination really quick. And in life, what's the hurry? We always want to get to the destination where, you know, we accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. We did what we wanted to do. But do you understand? It's the journey to get there. My parents went on lots of missionary trips. We went to Mexico, and I often talk about Haiti. We went to Jamaica. But you know what? Those missionary trips is not what instills in my mind and memories today. It was the everyday life of being with my mom and dad. My dad was the top mobile home salesman of his day, had beautiful retirement parks. And I would go with my daddy every week in the truck, and we would go to Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania, which was about an hour and a half away from home. And we would drive in the truck. Those are the memories I have. It wasn't the great destination and the great trips that we did. It was the everyday part of life. And that is what I remember. Every single Thursday, I had to do garbage hauling day. We would have to get up at 6 a.m., Mama, Daddy, me, and my brother. And my dad and my mom and me and my brother would have to collect all the garbage from all the mobile home parks. Being with my mom and dad is what instilled memories of my life. And it was just the everyday memories. And the work. Every single week on a Friday, I had to help with my daddy in mowing the parks. Every person had to mow their own individual little lot, but my dad had a laundromat and he had to use a push mower and mow around that. And I used to take a little trimmers, and I had to go on my hands and knees with these little trimmers and trim around following after my daddy. Or how about the time my daddy had the laundromat, and once a month he would have to clean all the lint out of the laundromat in the bottom. And any money that fell down in there, I could collect and take it home with me. These are the memories I have. Why am I saying all this to you? I'm saying all this to you is because it's not the great grand things in life. When I die, I'm not going to say, woo, look at my channel subscriber amount. No, I'm going to say, look at the letter that Mary sent me. I remember the letter that Angie sent me. I remember the letter that Susan sent me. I remember all the beautiful things that Theo has said to me, and Michael, all of the videos that Michael has given me a thumbs up. He's watched every single video of mine. And of course, Owen, and all of you. How about Cindy Wilkerson, who is one of the very first subscribers of mine? And we can't forget about Ellen and all of you. I'm going to remember you and how you touched my life. There are many people that were very familiar with my channel, and they were a staple of my channel, that are no longer living. I think it's about 15 of them now that passed away. And hardly a day goes by that I don't think about them, and I wished I could see them again online. I've never seen them in person, these people, but I've seen them in my heart because we got to know one another. So when my income went 50% lower, it was a wake-up call for me once again to rein me in, because God was saying, Tessie, what does it really matter in life? You see, God never told us he was going to give us riches. A lot of people like to say prosperity preaching. While I grew up under the prosperity preaching, I don't necessarily agree with that 100%, because God never said he would give us riches. God said he would take care of our needs. You see, our wants and our needs are two separate things. And I believe that for some people, God does provide riches. And I believe there's a lot of people who use those riches to bless people. I know somebody who's blessed me from the riches that they have got, and they blessed me. I'm not against people who have riches. God has used them in that way. But because you're not rich or I'm not rich doesn't mean God loves us any less. It just means that God has a different calling for our life. You see, God has a calling for every person's life, and that is a calling financially. Some people will never, ever have more money than what they need. But that doesn't mean God's not loving you. Just because you don't have riches doesn't mean God doesn't love you. It means God has a purpose for you that may be different than the one sitting beside you who has a lot of money. I realize this. God spoke to me in a tremendous way. And how did he do that? By tangibly making me have a wake-up call. And I realize that maybe riches is something I don't really want for me, because that's not my calling. That's not my heart. That's not what my channel is about. My channel is to reach an audience of people who feel lonely, who feel deserted, who feel poor, who feel the struggle, who feel like they don't have any hope. That's what my channel's about. And so I asked the Lord one thing. I don't ask the Lord for the millions to come to my channel, but I do ask the Lord that those he wants to be ministered in the ministry that I have, and all the things that I do and all the things I stand for, that he brings them to my channel. And guess what? He has. I don't pray for the monetary value of things. I pray for the spiritual value. I'll be honest with you. It stretched me beyond ways I thought I could be stretched, but yet it's blessed me in ways no money could ever buy. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you again tomorrow.